Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into what a simple color change could mean for MicroStrategy, the world's largest corporate holder of Bitcoin. It's a tiny signal, but it might just point to a massive strategic shift. So where did this all start? Well, it kicked off with this one, super cryptic question posted by MicroStrategy's Saylor. No context, no follow-up. And with just those 7 words, he basically sent the entire market into a speculative frenzy. Now, you might be thinking, a color change? What's the big deal? But trust me, this is way more than just a cosmetic tweak. For years, MicroStrategy's entire playbook has been visualized with just one color. So adding a new one isn't just a design choice. It's a massive signal that something fundamental is about to change. Okay, so to really get why a green dot is sending shockwaves, we've got to rewind a bit and talk about the orange dot. You see, the orange dot strategy, what everyone calls Chapter 1, was just beautiful in its simplicity. I mean, it was literally raise money, buy Bitcoin. That's it. Rinse and repeat. For almost 4 years, that was the entire game plan. So that begs the question, right? If the formula was working so well, why mess with it? Why now? Well, because the game itself has changed, and the company is suddenly facing some pretty intense new pressures. And it all comes down to this really important metric called MBF. All you need to know is this. It's basically a simple ratio that tells you if MicroStrategy's stock is worth more or less than the actual Bitcoin it's holding. And here's where things got tricky. Recently, their NAVD dipped below 1. And that's a huge deal. It means the stock market was valuing the entire company for less than the Bitcoin on its books. Think about that. You could basically buy the company for cheaper than its main asset. This pressure led to something pretty much unthinkable. The company's CEO, and Michael Saylor himself shared this, came out and said, yeah, we would sell Bitcoin. For a company whose entire brand is built on holding forever, saying that they'd sell Bitcoin because it would actually be better for shareholders, I mean, that's a bombshell. It completely spooked the market. Okay, so that brings us back to the big mystery. With all that context, what in the world could this new green dot possibly mean? This is where it gets really interesting. We're potentially seeing a shift from that simple one-trick pony playbook of just buying Bitcoin to a much more complex multi-tool strategy. The green dots could be anything from share buybacks to straight-up acquisitions. So let's break down the leading theories, right? First up, the green dot could be for buying back their own stock, using that discount to their advantage. Or maybe it's for M&A, gobbling up other Bitcoin companies that are also trading cheap. And then there's the more complex stuff, using fancy financial tools like derivatives to raise cash without watering down existing shares. At the end of the day, it almost doesn't matter which one of these theories is the right one. The most important thing here is the signal itself. It's MicroStrategy basically announcing, hey, we've got a whole new set of tools in our toolbox now, a new gear for a totally different market. So, no matter what the green dot ends up meaning specifically, one thing is crystal clear. We are watching a massive, fundamental shift in their whole strategy. And this quote from an analyst just nails it perfectly. He said, the engine has more gears than they assumed. That is exactly the message Michael Saylor is sending to the world. He's showing everyone that this company isn't a one-trick pony. It's a sophisticated machine with a lot more levers to pull. And really, this is the simplest way to think about it. The orange dots, that was Chapter 1, all about simple, relentless accumulation. These new green dots, whatever they end up being, well, that's the start of Chapter 2. It's all about strategic moves, growth, and a much more complex playbook. Look, we might not have the dictionary definition of green dot today, but that's not the point. The signal is the message. Michael Saylor is doing this on purpose. He wants this new phase to be out in the open, to be tracked, and to be seen as the next step in MicroStrategy's evolution. So what does this all mean for us? The real question isn't just what's a green dot, it's what does this tell us about the future? We're seeing the beginning of a whole new era for how corporations might use Bitcoin, not just as a savings account, but as an active strategic asset to generate even more value. Orange was Chapter 1. The real question is, what will Chapter 2 bring?